Good evening, everyone. We went live a little bit early, which is good, but it gives me a little bit more time to post all this stuff and get it on the Twitters and whatnot so people can know. Once I'm done here, I will start paying attention. There's a reason I have the screen black. You'll understand in a minute. I think it's going to be funny. It probably won't be. But hope everyone enjoyed the races this weekend at Talladega. Hope everyone had a good time if you were at the race. As I said, I hope you had a great time. So, yeah, but let's see. I should probably get over here. Get that up. Okay, that's a good start. But all right. So, Talladega. Quite the race weekend, or quite the race weekend. But let's get started. Let's get this screen going. And oh no! Oh my goodness! It's another commercial. See, as I said, I lost 2 viewers for that, so it wasn't that funny. But anywho, yes, commercials. They happened. They sure happened. Don't really know what else to say. But yeah, I just thought I'd open up on that. Yeah, so here's the results. But hello, Sean. Hello, David. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing good on this Monday evening, or I guess some places it's Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, or Monday morning. No, it's not Monday morning anywhere else. So, yeah. No, yeah, it's we'll dive into it a little bit later. SVG, his day and whatnot. It's going to be our first SVG breakdown, recap, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be our first one since March, because obviously I was at Darlington and Bristol, so we didn't do it there. But yeah, got to scroll down the order to find him again. 29th. He gained a couple positions without even being on track, so he's got that going for him. A couple disqualifications. Obviously, that's not how you want to do it. But okay, I got to go to the standings. Yeah, once again, we'll kind of go through this later on. But if you just go through his season stats, it's not great. 33rd, 23rd, 6th Dakota, but that's expected. 31st, 34th, 32nd, 20th, good result at Darlington. 38th, 29th. So, yeah, it's not been an ideal start to the year for him. Oh no, Lynn, it's a NASCAR tradition. NASCAR tradition is whenever there's a commercial, there either has to be a caution or there has to be a lead change. Now at Talladega, it's a little bit different because lead changes happen all the time, but caution or lead change has to happen during a commercial. It's NASCAR tradition. It's our ways. It's how we have to have it go down. So, yeah. Don't know what else to say on it. Yeah, David, just not the greatest Talladega race. I've seen a lot of debate online of was that a good race? Was that a bad race? Like, should we be used to it at this point with the next-gen car? And, well, personally, I'm just tired of having this discourse on the car. I feel like this is, let's see here. Talladega, Bristol, Darlington, Martinsville. What was before Martinsville? Homestead. Okay, Homestead was good. We've had 4 straight races where we've had a lot of people saying that they did not enjoy the race. They did not enjoy the racing. If we switch over to the schedule here, the Cup race side or Cup schedule. So going through this year, we're going to go straight to the points races. If you want my opinion, everyone's obviously allowed to have their opinion in the comments and whatnot, but if we go through the races, I thought Daytona was decent. It was all right. Atlanta was good. It just had the caution controversy at the end, which we had more of that this weekend in the Xfinity race. I thought Coda was a great race. It was a clean race, which was really good to see. We saw a lot of good racing there. Phoenix was all right. For Phoenix standards, it was good because of the option tire, but we kind of needed the option tire to really make it interesting. I thought Vegas was a solid race. Homestead was a solid race. So there's 2 good back-to-back races right there. Martinsville was meh. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't that bad, but it definitely wasn't good. Darlington, I thought Darlington was blown out of proportion. I thought it was all right. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was great or anything, but it wasn't like a horrid race that was just absolutely an abysmal product. It was just kind of meh. But a lot of people disagree on Darlington. Yeah, Bristol. Yeah, that was a rough one. And then Talladega. Yeah, we got back-to-back tough ones here. So, yeah, back-to-back tough ones and then a couple of mess. So we're on a 4-race streak of not the greatest racing product, but we've seen this year. We've seen good races. Heck, Vegas, Homestead, Coda, Atlanta. Like, we've had good races this year. It's just that we're in a rough stretch right now. And hopefully we can get back to good racing here at Texas. Texas the last couple of years has produced some chaos. The more that track wears out, the more bumpy it gets, the older it gets, the more character it develops. And we see some decent racing. We see some chaos. We see a little bit more action. So we're really early into the stream. We're not doing Monday picks yet, but just looking at this upcoming stretch, after we've had a little bit of a rough stretch in terms of the quality of racing right here through these last 4, but hopefully we can get back to these right here, or even this right here, or these 2. So, yeah, we will talk about that a little bit later, the future, but Superspeedway racing has been a hot topic right now. What are we going to do with it? The fuel savings, and then just going through 2x2, you can't make moves. And yeah, I agree with you. I agree with the people saying, hey, we can't make moves, or the drivers can't make moves. Like, if you're it's a track position race at Talladega and Daytona. That's not how it's supposed to be at Talladega and Daytona. I agree with you there. Austin Cindric was like in the 20s, I think they said, or maybe it was Kyle Larson. Someone who finished in the top 5. They were running in the 20s, entering that green flag pit cycle, and they got up to the front of the field without passing a single car on track. That should not be happening at Daytona and Talladega. If someone goes from 24th to 2nd in the final run, it should be through passing. But anywho. This discourse we're having over the car, the short track package needs to be changed, the road courses, the super speedways. We're having all these discussions about the tracks and the car needing to be changed, and it feels like it's almost a weekly topic at this point. And maybe, just as I said earlier, maybe it's just because we've had a rough 4 weeks here. We're in the middle, hopefully at the end of a rough 4-week stretch, and it's really just reached its height right here, and that's why I'm just kind of like, I'm tired of talking about it. But, yeah, people sure do enjoy talking about the car and how it needs to be different. No, Denver, we'll talk about SVG in a little bit. But, yeah, just once again, and yesterday wasn't like, we've seen that team, the 88 team, it's been a penalty, like the tire coming off the car at Martinsville. It's been they show up with no speed, or they take a while to adapt, but by the time they've adapted or figured things out, they're a lap down. They get pinned a lap down, or just, Bristol, he wrecks himself, or whatever happens, or as he said, he gets caught up like Atlanta. He gets caught up in someone else's wreck on the last lap. So it's been like every single thing that can go wrong has gone wrong. And yesterday, once again, kind of shot themselves in the foot when SVG, oh my goodness, I have the HBO Max onboard cam. If that telemetry is accurately lined up with the camera, which I don't know if it is, it could be wrong. It could be a few seconds off. So this could be a very wrong number. But if that is accurate, I have a screenshot or a picture of the actual telemetry on top of where he is. He is beyond the yellow line, the commitment line, the entry to pit road, where you have to be going 55 miles an hour. At most, 59.9999999, whatever. At that point, actually a little bit beyond, you can't even see the yellow line anymore in this picture. He's going 111 miles per hour. He has almost doubled the speed limit. So yeah, he missed pit road by a bit there. Once again, obviously that could be an inaccurate number. It might not be lined up, but if that is the accurate number, that is quite a ways off. Which, speaking of, I got my notes here for the SVG thing, which we'll get to later in the stream. I need to get my calculations in. My miles per hour to kilometers per hour. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's one number. But anywho, yeah, it was, dude, I was watching that onboard during the race, and I just looked to my right during the pit stops to see if he was pitting with a group, and all of a sudden, you just see Chase Elliott swerve out of the way, and you see Kyle Larson just fly on backwards because SVG is just straight into pit road. Just, yeah, that was a rough one. Luke says, I remember how much they talk about SVG at the beginning of the season. Well, I mean, part of it, he's running at the back. Yesterday, they didn't talk about him much on TV. He didn't have a TV camera on his car. I remember earlier in the season, they were putting a camera on his car that they would show on TV. So that could be it. Just depends on the track. Like Mexico, I'm sure they'll talk about him a lot because obviously he'll be running up front there. Maybe another track. Like, let's say he does really good at Kansas, finishes like 15th or something. Charlotte, 1.5 miles, the next points-paying race, kind of similar. Might give him more screen time there. So, it just depends. I don't know how they make those decisions, the TV people. I wish I did. But sometimes they leave it up to a fan vote. Sometimes they it's based on who's good where. Like, as I said, SVG's really good at the road courses, so they'll show him more at the road course. I'm trying to think of, okay, let's go through the results here, and I'll pick. Okay, Kyle Larson's good almost everywhere. Like Cindric, really good at Superspeedway. They'd give him an onboard at the Superspeedways. Bowman, really good at like Kansas, that kind of racetrack. Might do an onboard for him. Bubba Wallace, great at the 1.5 miles. Suarez, great at the road courses and super speedways. Austin Dill and super speedways. Like, you might put an onboard camera for those guys at those specific tracks if you kind of get what I'm saying here. So, once again, I don't know how they make those decisions, but sometimes it's just purely based off, is this guy good here? Should we have a camera on him? Yeah, Sean, TrackHouse's qualifying has been, it's not just an SVG thing. Like, now Superspeedway qualifying doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I mean, look at this. 7th, 25th, 16th, 27th. I mean, 6 of the top 7 started 15th or worse. And if we want to go back on down, 8 of the top 9 finished or started 15th or worse. Qualifying does not matter at Superspeedways. But if we do go to TrackHouse here, 24th for Suarez, and I think he was their highest qualifier. Chastain, 32nd. SVG, 36th. So, yeah, TrackHouse, it has not just been a super speedway thing. It has been a everywhere thing. I think Chastain has had, we can go look. If we go to the one, we go to driver stats. It tells me his average start is a 22.8. That is not good. Average finish is actually pretty decent, making up 8 spots a race, but that average start, that is bad. So TrackHouse, whatever they got going on, obviously there's times they just straight up don't have speed, but in terms of all 3 cars, the qualifying speed is not there. Chastain has shown flashes. He has 5 top 10s. Suarez has a couple of top 10s as well, so he almost won at Vegas, which was extremely random, but in terms of TrackHouse as a whole, they got to get it together. But as I've said multiple times this season, SVG is a completely different situation that you can't really base things on just because he's never raced at these ovals before. And some of them he's never touched in a cup car. Like Texas next week is probably going to be a rough one if I had to guess. I think he had a rough time there in the Xfinity car last year, so Texas is its own unique monster. So we'll talk about that during the SVG recap. But Texas, temper your expectations. Kansas and Charlotte, though, they could be a different story, I think. I could be wrong there. I'm usually wrong. Don't forget what happened. We'll get to that later. Texas last year. I got behind the comments here. Yeah, okay, David, look at this. Guys, look at this. What is this? What is this? What is happening here? Kyle Larson. Let me go to my phone here. Kyle Larson is known for being terrible at these super speedways. He ends up crashing. He somehow wrecks the leader. Something goes wrong. He does something terrible at a super speedway. Sometimes it's his fault. Sometimes it's not. We go back to Atlanta. I'm getting there. Give me a second. Third at Atlanta, fighting for the win on the final lap. What? Today or yesterday, pushing Austin Cindric to the win and finishing second. Back-to-back podiums. I know we don't do podiums in NASCAR, but back-to-back podiums for Kyle Larson at a super speedway. I'm looking outside for the asteroid. I'm waiting for it to hit. This can't be a reality. Something's got to go wrong. The apocalypse, asteroid, dinosaurs coming back from the dead. Something's got to give because this is not normal. This is weird. This is not supposed to happen. Kyle Larson is not supposed to be running good at super speedways. Back-to-back top threes. What is up with this? This is weird. If his luck is this good the rest of the year, oh boy, we could be in for a doozy. He's already got 2 wins. Could be a lot more. And if he wins on a super speedway, I intentionally this year did not put him in my Final Four because Talladega is in that round of 8. If he wins at Talladega in the fall, I give up. I don't know. Speaking of, I just remembered Talladega's in the round of 8 this year. That's horrifying. I don't want to think about that till we get there. So for the next 6 months, let me not think about that. Thanks. Anywho, Denver, yeah, I mean, NASCAR's expanding internationally, so they could go to Australia one day, but the biggest question for me there, obviously Adelaide's got a street course there. They've been running it for years. All different sorts of series have been running there, so it's an established track. They know what they're doing. They know how to put on a show. My question would be, how many years down the road would that be? But no, I'd love to see, I always say it, I'd love to see NASCAR going international. Mexico, Canada, England, Saudi Arabia, Australia, New Zealand, Antarctica, Somalia, I don't care. Name a country. If NASCAR can make it work, let's do it. I think it's super cool. I think it's awesome to try to reach out to a new fan base. Let's go anywhere. If it's a possibility, if it's feasible, why not? Yeah, borderline Briar. Jeb Burton almost won. All right, it's time to talk about the Xfinity Series controversy. Austin Hill won again on a super speedway. However, he's always had the worst luck at super speedways, or not super speedways, at Talladega. The guy has won 1 million races at Atlanta, 1 million races at Daytona, but Talladega just can't get it done. Always finds a way to lose it. He won it, but not easily. He won it by, I think the official win margin is .001. Not the way you would think. Not like Kansas and Cup last year. Not some exciting super speedway finish. Yeah, this is how it finished. It finished under caution. And we used these 3 cameras to determine the winner. I think. There could have been another camera that I didn't know about or that NASCAR is hiding. This is how we got the winner. This rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Understandably so. We see here, let's break down each angle. You cannot tell a single thing here. I couldn't even guess. This tells me nothing. This, in terms of what we're looking for here, this is horrid. We can't use this. These other 2, these are basically the same. Now, angles are angles. That's what makes this all complicated, is that angles are extremely difficult to see. However, from this angle, it looks like the 21's ahead. I don't know by how much. I don't know if .001 is accurate. But you see the back bumper is just a little bit further than this back bumper. and it's hard to tell the front bumpers here. I will admit this looks a little bit closer, but the back bumpers is what I'm looking at. And you see his spoiler comes like right here. And this is very unscientific, but a little bit, just a little bit. And then we got to come back to these cars. I can't tell here. Got to be honest with you. These two, the shadows are like almost identical. But yeah, it sucks that we have to determine a race this way. More people yelling about the caution lights and hitting the caution button. My biggest thing is that Connor Zilisch on the radio after he crashed over here, he was saying that his back hurt. He was like saying, my back. And we don't know the severity. And luckily, Connor Zilisch was able to walk away. He got cleared from the infield care center, which is very good to hear. But we don't know at that moment if he's like seriously hurt. Like, did he just break his back? Is he injured? Like, we got to get a medical crew to him immediately. You can see way back here, we got a lapped car. So when we have a driver, I know it's a single car incident, but when we have a driver crashing and immediately he's getting on the radio saying, my back, we got to get the ambulance, wherever they may be, out to him immediately, just in case it's like a severe injury. So I understand NASCAR's call, honestly. When they hear that, when they see that, and we got 1 lap car, 2 lap car in frame, like, it's kind of understandable in this situation. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of controversy with this Xfinity finish. I am not scientific at all, so my science could be wrong, but NASCAR science says that Austin Hill won his 3rd win of the year. Atlanta, Martinsville, Talladega. So he's won at the shortest track and he's won at the longest track. In terms of the ovals, obviously, you know, some of our road courses we go to a little bit longer. Heartbreaking for Jeb Burton. Sucks to see for him. Obviously, he's really good at Talladega. He's won a couple races here before. He was really upset about it after the race. Sure did think he won, which, you know, he was in the car. He had his point of view, but great run for Matt DiBenedetto. Top 5, good for him. You know, he's had quite a roller coaster of the few years here. But ends up getting a top 5 for, I think it's Viking Motorsports. Anthony Alfredo, Blaine Perkins. Remember Blaine Perkins, I think, flipped here like 2 or 3 years ago, like multiple times. That was crazy. Daniel Dye with back-to-back top 10s. Harrison Burton with back-to-back top 10. What a year for Harrison Burton. If we go to the standings here, we'll do that in a minute. Anywho. Hello, person who's a fan of me. Tori says we would have finished better. Oh, I was trying to figure out who we was. I was like, who is we? But okay, you're an SVG fan, I believe. So I think that's what you mean. Texas last year, SVG was 18th. Yeah, I did not know that. I thought it was worse. I thought he was in the 20s. Anywho. Oh my goodness, yes. Suarez fan 000. Dude, AJ Allmendinger this year. Do we have the playoff thing yet? We do. Okay, so the NASCAR app has it where it says the playoff standings, but the website doesn't. And it really drives me crazy. Like, NASCAR, can we please get that lined up so I can actually show the playoff standings here and I don't have to stare at my phone or do math? I hate doing math. Please don't make me do math. Do the math for me. I'm lazy. Please. Anywho, we have Josh Berry who's won a race. Has anyone else below 16th won a race? I don't think so. I think that's it. So yeah, Josh Berry's won a race, so we got to factor him in. So that means 16th is out. Kyle Busch is out. AJ Allmendinger is in the playoffs right now. We are 10 races into the season, so we have 6. We're about halfway through the regular season. AJ Allmendinger's in the playoffs. What a fantastic start. He's got 3 top 10s on the season, only 1 DNF, 2 laps led, 2 glorious laps. But they've had a great start. If we go to his stat profile here, I'm a big stat profile guy. They actually are having good qualifying speed. He's got a 19.6 average finish. He's got back-to-back top 10s, Vegas and Homestead. So these mile and a halves they've done really good at. And we're going to 3 straight 1.5 miles here in the regular season with Texas, Kansas, and Charlotte. And honestly, Nashville's kind of a 1.5 miles. It's an intermediate, so it's its own thing. But we could have a really good stretch for AJ. He's got a top 10 in Bristol. I mean, they've been running really good this year. I don't think a lot of people had AJ Allmendinger potentially like pointing his way into the playoffs, and it's still really early to be saying all this. But they've been running pretty darn good this year. So AJ Allmendinger, that's one to watch in terms of the long term. We'll see if they can keep this up. His colleagues have been rough the last couple of years, but if AJ Allmendinger can do something special this year, that'd be quite exciting. What's up in between the lanes? Okay, yeah, we can go to the Xfinity points, Noah. Xfinity points. So Jeb Burton, despite him, falling short of the win, not being, not getting himself in the playoffs, he's in the playoffs right now. He's 9th in the points. I don't think we have any winners below the line. If we do, they're part-timers, and that doesn't count. So the cutoff to 13, 267, 24 points. He has a 24-point gap in the playoffs. So he's had a great season thus far. What a season for him. Ryan Sieg's in the playoffs. Harrison Burton's in the playoffs right now. I mean, seriously, look, 3 great seasons right here. Jeb Burton, Ryan Sieg, Harrison Burton. Daniel Dye on the outside looking in, Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray. So, yeah. And then we got our leaders up. I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised about this 1-2 in the points. Other races this year. Texas for sure. I don't know in what capacity. I won't be covering the race, unfortunately. That has changed for me, which sucks, but things happen. I got to work around it, so we'll see what we're doing there. I'm still waiting to figure out how I'm going to be there, but I will be at Texas this week. As for other races, TBD, my schedule has suddenly changed, so I'm still figuring it out. But Texas this upcoming week, I will be there. That is my home race. It's 20 minutes away from me, 15 minutes, whatever it is. There's no reason for me to not be there. So whatever capacity I got to be there, I will be there at Texas. It's my home race. It's, I'm excited. I love this track. I love this place. You can never make me hate it. But if it's a bad race, I will say it's a bad race. Don't worry. However, in my opinion, we have not had a bad race there since 2022, despite how awful that one was. Let's move on. Okay, yeah, let's Noah pointed out William Sawalich, and well, we got to do some scrolling. Part-timer Eric Almirola. Got to keep scrolling, and oh god, these two next to each other in the points. That is tough. Second to last out of full-time drivers is William Sawalich. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's really bad. Yikes. I mean, I hope he does better. I mean, he has to do better, but this in a Joe Gibbs Racing car when you're full-time, Chris Wright is only... Okay, at least there's a 40-point gap there, but you're next to each other in points. That's not good. It's really not good. Okay. Denver. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Bathurst, I'm interested in watching that one, but I know that's late in the season. That's like October. I will kill my sleep schedule for that one because that's the Supercar's biggest race. So yes, as of right now, April 28th, I'll commit to Bathurst. I'll watch that one. If I'm not on the road, if I'm on the road, that's a different story. But as of right now, I got no plans in October. As I said, my plans have changed here. Let's look up when this Bathurst 1000 is. Oops. Oops, I almost put 10,000. That would have been awkward. It says iRacing. No, I don't want iRacing. I want the real thing. I don't want video games. Does that trigger people? I know someone it triggers when I say video games. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. October 9th through 12th. Is it only one race, or is it like Adelaide where you got 2 races? Like 2 separate races? Overview. Can you tell me the weekend schedule, supercars.com? No? Okay. Well, I tried. Tickets, corporate experiences. No, unfortunately, that's if someone wants to fund my travel over there, then hell yeah, I'll go to the Bathurst 1000, but that's a little out of my price range to fly all the way to Australia. That's a little bit more than the 15-hour drive to Darlington, South Carolina. That's a 15-hour flight. But, all right, they don't have a weekend schedule, but it's one race. Okay, it's one race. Yeah, let's do it. Mark it down. Pencil it in. Pencil me down for October 12th. Is that October 11th here? We'll figure it out when we get closer to it. Pencil me down for the Bathurst 1000. I will be sitting right here watching it. We got a long time, so. Bathurst is about 5 to 6 hours. Hey, Tori, we broke the streaming record on here. We did 4 hours and 20 minutes when we did the 24-hour of Daytona reaction. So that's our streaming record, so we can break that again. Bathurst 1000. We can do a 6 to 8 hour stream, however long it takes. That's going to suck if it starts at 2 a.m. and ends at 10 a.m. here, because I might fall asleep during the stream. Not because it's a bad race or anything, but just because that'll be me up for 24 straight hours. I'll go get a Red Bull or something. Favorite paint schemes? I got to go back to the finishing results. Normal scheme. 4-car looked fine. The Prime Video scheme looks good. It's weird, but it looks good. When I say it's weird, I mean it's weird to see an Amazon Prime Video paint scheme. If it was Chase Elliott, well, it is Chase Elliott. If it was Noah Gragson, William Byron, Carson Hocevar, it's just weird to see that logo on a car is what I'm saying. We've seen basically everyone else's paint scheme, I feel like. Oh, the 41, that was a pretty car. Yeah. That was a pretty race car. Outside of that, trying to think of what stood out to me. I wish Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin fought for a win because their cars look almost identical. I said almost. They're not quite. Ooh, the 8 car looked really good this week. I think the safety culture paint scheme is really good if you ask me. Outside of that, unfortunate for Ryan Preece, the Celsius paint scheme makes its debut and he gets disqualified. Anyone want to talk? Oh, speaking of, I knew I was going to forget to do this. It took me halfway through this stream. I forgot to pull up the press releases. I posted them last night, or one of them. Team Penske made their announcement last night, and I posted that on the video, which, by the way, thank you guys for the support. We got a lot of views on that one. Apparently, you guys really care about disqualifications, which fine by me. Anywho, RFK they released their press release today, so I did not get a chance to update you all, but they updated it so close to this that I was like, okay, 4 hours ago. Here we go. So here is Team Penske's statement. They said the number 22 Penske Ford Mustang was disqualified following post-race inspection at Talladega today. One of the 18 bolts on the surface of the spoiler that connect to the base was found to be loose, and NASCAR penalized the team as a result. This was not intentional and happened throughout the course of the race event. Team Penske accepts the disqualification, so they are not appealing. Basically the same thing from RFK. RFK Racing acknowledges and accepts NASCAR's decision to disqualify the number 60 Ford Mustang following post-race inspection at Talladega and will not appeal the ruling. The infraction stemmed from an unintentional adjustment during pre-race inspection to correct a spoiler angle issue. While the change did not provide a competitive advantage, it did not meet the approved compliance method. We respect the ruling and remain committed to integrity and adherence to NASCAR standards. So, yeah, they both admitted that they screwed up or something went wrong or whatever, and they will not be appealing. So no appeals for either of those teams. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I guess when we get to Bathurst, I got to remake a Supercars account because you got to pay the monthly fee or whatever. Which, by the way, I don't remember it being much. I think it was like $5 or so. I mean, it did not hurt the bank account for me. It was a tiny little dent, thankfully. Now, if it was like $80 or something, that's a good chunk of a dent. $5, though, we can survive. Justin Haley's first race with a new crew chief. That was his old crew chief. Still a weird, bizarre situation. Where did he finish? Where did he finish? Oh my goodness. I can't find... 25th. Okay. Okay, so we've done that. We've done that. We've done that. We've done that. Oh, this is... Whew. All right, so in case you missed it during the race, at the end of stage 2, Austin Cindric decided to not push Joey Logano to the stage win or something because he would have wrecked Joey Logano because of how much speed he was carrying. Joey Logano gets on the radio and starts saying a bunch of bad words about how Austin Cindric sucks as a teammate. Well, Baseball Hall of Famer Chipper Jones had some thoughts on this, and he said, "Congrats to Austin Cindric on his Talladega win. Good teammates are hard to come by, boss. Remember that one of yours MF'd you on national TV when in all actuality you did everything possible to keep from wrecking him. Hate to be #deuces in the team meeting on Monday. Some people are hooray for our team as long as I'm the star, as every team has them. Hendrick, RCR, JGR, Penske, etc. Sometimes karma is glorious. Enjoy this one. In case anyone's confused, let me be clear. At Joey Logano." Woo! God almighty. Not the first time that he has thrown heat in his life because he's a baseball player. And then he goes on, after Joey Logano gets disqualified, my day just keeps getting better. Everyone talks about on the internet professional hating or someone's number one hater. Chipper Jones is Joey Logano's number one hater, apparently, and we just have not known it up until today. Oh my goodness, just brutal. Woof. I mean, just Logano's number one hater is Chipper Jones. Who would have thought? Not me. Let's talk about fantasy. Actually, you all talk about fantasy. I don't want to because, once again, I sucked. I'm really bad at this, okay? I don't know what I'm doing. Apparently, a lot of you do. Please teach me how to be good at fantasy NASCAR. Would really help me out. Yeah. Anywho, congratulations to TriTech on the win. Let's go to the league standings. I don't think... I'm still in 18th. Woo! I didn't drop in the standings. Klaus Van Gissenbergen, didn't you lose the lead like 2 weeks ago? Well, you're back in the lead. Congrats to you. Dunkin' Donuts, only 12 points off. Only 17 points off is Zerkman95. Dan the Jets fan, that's our defending champion. Aussie Matt, RT Racing, Hell on Wheels 24. Fantastic Priest. Oh, poor Fantastic Priest. Not for the fantasy standings, but because of the Priest part. Matt Smith 53, 0 Apex. That's our top 10. Everything outside of the top 10. All right. You're outside the top 10. Oscar Dave, expat _ Kiwi _ Mike _ Wallace, Crackler, Tyler Hernandez 6, David Jerry, Dr. Zero, Sportswagon, Idiot is an 18th, Micah MLB 15, Supercar Nut, Jamie, the lifelong Logano fan, Hack Dash House, Knee, Rebutted, Tritech. That's the winner of our race, by the way. A little bit late to the party, but they are making progress. Space Wrangler Racing, JTF526, and we have a bunch of people who have not filled out an entry. So, fill out your entries. And if you want to join the league, I will get that link to you in the comment chat thingy, whatever it's called. You just got to give me a second. I'm clicking. Still clicking. Clicking. League. That. Copy. No, not cut. Copy. Back to here. Clicking here. Paste. And bam. If you want to join the league, it's for fun. No rules. Just be nice to each other. You can talk trash, don't get me wrong, but just don't be mean. Like, you can say, haha, I beat you this week. But don't be like, haha, I beat you this week and you're awful at everything or something. You know, just be nice. If you're going to trash talk, at least be a little bit nice about it. Anywho. I don't watch much dirt racing. I probably should, since Larson and Bell's dirt racing here this week. I should probably go to that, but I don't know what I'm doing Thursday night. Got to be real with you. I don't plan that far out. Sometimes I do, but not always. Oh my gosh, yes, Borderline Briar. So I mentioned this in the video yesterday. I said Brad Keselowski's been horrible this year. We'll talk about that when we get to him. And then we just never got to, or we got to him and I just completely whiffed it. Brad Keselowski this year has been horrible. Whether it's them getting crashed coming to pit road or they just are slow, but just it's been a rough one for the 6 team. These stats are about to be disgusting, like just genuinely disgusting. He is 5th to last of full-time drivers. That is just... Are those DNFs or top 10s? Those are DNFs. 3 DNFs. Brad Keselowski has 0 top 10s. We're 10 races into the season. I think he's in must win. He's not going to make the playoffs if he doesn't win. And I don't even know where he would win right now. You could throw in the Superspeedway. Sure, he's a great Superspeedway racer, but I haven't seen anything from him. He hasn't even led a lap this year. 0 laps led. He has zeros on every single significant statistic. Even through a pit cycle, he hasn't led a lap. 0 top 10s, 0 top 5s, 0 wins, 3 whole DNFs. That is his only stat. 3 DNFs. That's pretty bad. And this is just going to be, okay, 26.1. I was expecting that to be a little bit closer to 30, so wildly surprised. Thought that was going to be like a 28.9. Average start. What's his best start this year? Okay, pointers. Atlanta, 9th. Okay. He has a couple of 1s on his stat profile, but it's 1 point gained in a race. Oh, just this is... His best finish is 11th at Vegas. He only has 2 other finishes better than 20th. It's a bad year to be a Brad Keselowski fan. I feel bad for every single one of them. This is brutal. Extremely brutal. Feel bad for every single one of them. No, not going to the All-Star race. Sorry. Hey, Denver, as long as you're having fun, as long as you think you're doing good, that makes me happy. You're probably beating 20th. You're almost beating me. I'm supposed to know about NASCAR. I've been watching it for 15 years now, so I don't know anything. So, anywho, as long as you're having fun, that's the goal of this thing. Yeah, Denver, I mean, theoretically, he's the boss, so he can drive until he wants to, but there may be a point that the other owners, like Jack Roush or the Fenway Group, may sit him down and say, hey, Brad, look, we love what you've done for the company. We love how you've kind of changed our culture and whatever, but you're holding us back driving wise. Now, obviously, I don't think we've reached that point. This is one bad year. Last year, he won a race. He was in the playoffs. He made the playoffs in 2023, I think. He did, right? I think he did. We're going to go with that. That sounds right. But, if he finishes 28th in points this year, and the next year he finishes 28th in points again, he might just sit out himself. He might pull the cord or whatever, or retire, whatever you want to say. But doing it after 10 bad races, probably not. But at the end of the day, he is his own boss. So I guess he does make that call. But yeah, it's just a brutal start. If we go down here, just all these guys, I would say from 28th on back, we didn't really have a lot of expectation for Riley Herbst, but I still think this is much worse than I thought. I thought he was going to be 25th to 30th maybe. SVG, I thought he was going to be 22nd to 27th. I thought he'd pick up a couple of top 20s by this point. He's only got one on ovals. Cole Custer, okay, well, we didn't really have high expectations for Haas. Cody Ware, no one had expectations for Cody Ware. I thought Ty Dillon was going to be a little bit worse. I'll be honest with you. Pleasant surprise there. So he's the only, not brutal start to the year. Legacy Motor Club, I'd say this is about where I expected them. Austin Dillon, all right. Austin Dillon was down here last year, so that's a solid start to him. I don't know. Let's go ahead and let's I'm going to review my notes here, and then we're going to do the SVG recap. It has been a while since we've done one of these, and I don't have a lot of notes because it's Talladega. There's not much to take notes on. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got 5 pages here, but anywho. Oh, also, I need to get my conversion sheet up because, I have to do that. So we're going to spend about 10 minutes here talking about SVG's day. So if I don't look at the live chat, I'm sorry. Once again, we cut this into a video, put some pictures, videos, whatever happened. And then I'm going to go to his stat profile. Get that up here. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll go to the finishing results. Can go right here. Don't have to scroll much from the bottom. All right. Oh, start with the tweet. Always got to start with the tweet. Okay. Okay. Shane Van Gisbergen. It has been a brutal start to the year for him. Here's what he had to say on the race. Get yourself a quick read of that. But yes, let's talk about his day at Talladega. Talladega Superspeedway. It's the biggest oval on the calendar. I have my conversion sheet. You can't see it here. This is during a live stream, by the way. So we cut out 10 minutes of a live stream to talk about SVG's day, do like a breakdown, recap, whatever you want to call it. So on my second screen, I have my conversion meter of math, how to turn miles into kilometers. So Talladega Superspeedway, it's the biggest racetrack in terms of the ovals on the NASCAR schedule, 2.66 miles, which is equivalent to 4.28 kilometers. SVG has raced here twice in the Cup Series already. He finished 28th last spring with Colleague, and he finished 15th in the fall, once again with Colleague. It's the third Superspeedway race of the season. The Superspeedway races, the modern era, or not the modern era, the next gen era, it requires a lot of fuel saving which is not going full throttle. But when you go full throttle, you're flooring it. You are literally flooring it for the entire lap. Pack racing, 20 to 30 cars within a second or two of each other. One car goes around, 20 to 30 are wrecked. Things like that happen. SVG at Daytona this year, in Atlanta, those were his most competitive ovals because, to put it frankly, the super speedways, they are the easiest ovals to adapt to, just to put it nicely, just to put it in a simple way rather than getting all complicated. The super speedways are the easiest ovals for someone outside of NASCAR to adapt to. So looking at those other super speedway races, he was actually quite competitive, got up into the top 5 at Daytona before being involved in an incident that wasn't his fault, led a couple of laps at Atlanta, and then was involved in a last lap incident that cost him a potential top 15 day. So how did today go? Or technically this was yesterday now. How did Talladega go? Qualified 36. Now, qualifying at these super speedways does not matter, but TrackHouse as a whole, they have struggled in qualifying. Now, he starts this race 36, and he spent like the first 15 to 20 laps just sitting in the back. They're 3x3, 4x4 at some points, and he's literally just a one-car lane, just no one near him. He can pick any lane, and he's just following the pack. Nothing really exciting. But then around what lap did I put? Lap 18, he starts getting involved in the pack. He starts trying to make some moves. By the way, as I said earlier, fuel saving is a big thing at these super speedways in the next gen era because track position is extremely important. You can't make moves in this car on the super speedways like you could in the old generation of car. So the whole goal of fuel saving is to have the shortest possible pit stop at the end of a stage or at the end of the race to give yourself the track position to have a good finish or to be in contention for the win. So right before the race, crew chief Steven Duran gets on the radio and says, "Hey Shane, just a reminder, we're saving fuel all day, whether it's under caution, whether it's driving around the track. We're saving fuel all day long to potentially try to put ourselves in position at the end of the race." So everyone's fuel saving at the beginning of this race. He's sitting in the back of the pack, starts making his way up through the pack around lap 27. He gets up to 21st, and then he's in the mid-20s for the most part of that stage. He's going from 21st to 27th, 22nd to 29th, just kind of shuffling depending on which lane was the dominant lane at the time. So then with 19 to go in the stage, in stage number 1, the pit cycle begins. So the pit cycle, it'll be a pack of cars. 7 to 8 cars will pit, whether it's Chevy, it's always affiliates. The Chevys pit together, the Fords pit together, the Toyotas pit together, the TrackHouse cars pit together, the Joe Gibbs Racing cars pit together, the Hendrick cars pit together. You all got your little tiny groups you got to pit together with. So 19 to go, this process starts. With 17 to go, they start wrecking. A bunch of cars start getting onto pit road, and everyone starts wrecking. SVG well clear of it. They have not pitted yet. But after this, he is actually 9th. So a bunch of cars had pitted. I think he was 21st at the beginning of the cycle. At this point, he's 9th. He pits under caution. They take 4 tires, fill it up with fuel, and they restart 26th, I think. What did I have written down here? '24th. Sorry. So then he gets asked, they're kind of at the back of the pack or in that mid-pack, the danger zone, if you will, if there's a big wreck. So he asked his crew chief, "Hey, should we go for it and try to get stage points, or should we back off and save fuel and try to get some track position later?" They said, "Hey, go for it. Let's try to get some stage points." And well, that strategy got killed quickly because on turn 2 of the restart, the leaders started wrecking, and there's nothing you can do. At this point, you can't even make a move for position. So they decide to come in, pit, get some more fuel, top off. They're already at the back of the pack. Why not? They end up finishing 31st in stage 1. The top speed was 200 miles an hour, which is equivalent to 321 kilometers an hour. And the reason I say that is when they're in fuel savings mode, they're going about 185 to 200 miles an hour, which is equivalent to 185 miles an hour is 297 kilometers an hour. So They are saving fuel. They're going significantly slower. So at the end of stage 2, they decide to come back in, pit, but this is where the track position thing comes in. They decide to only get 2 seconds of fuel. So they've already filled up, but they burned a little bit in those last few laps of the stage. So come on to pit road, top it off on fuel, and the crew chief said 2 seconds of fuel. Justin Haley had other ideas. Justin Haley was pitting. He was in the pit stall directly ahead of Shane Van Gisbergen, and they were getting tires. They were doing a full servicing. SVG could not get out of his pit stall after the fuel was put into the car, had to put it in reverse and then get around the 7 car, and they lost a bunch of positions because of that. Nothing you can really do at that point. Stop later in the box, but there's a car in the pit stall behind you, so you got to come in at a weird angle. Just tough luck at that point. So they actually ended up restarting P18, so not too bad. By lap 75, he actually made his way into the top 10. His line, I swear, man, he just got on that top line and just did whatever that line did. I was staring at Chase Elliott's back bumper and Alex Bowman's right side door for 45 straight minutes, I think. I almost went insane, but anywho. He was up into the top 5 by lap 80. Crew chief comes on the radio, says, hey, we're about 6 to 10 laps short of making it to the stage end. Everyone had to pit, so that didn't really matter. With 89 laps to go, he got shuffled back a little bit, and they ended up being in the 20s, so they fall back to where they were early in this race, kind of that 21st to 28th range in a sense, and he was able to make his way back up into the teens for a bit. And then the green flag pit stops come again. And as I noted earlier, SVG did not make a green flag pit stop in stage number 1. He got lucky with a caution, and they were able to pit under caution. No need to come onto pit road during the green flag. Well, here's the thing about Talladega and pitting under green. It's not like Texas, where you're in the middle of a turn. It's not like Martinsville, where you're already going really slow, and so you just got to keep braking. Talladega, you're going from 185 miles an hour to 55 miles an hour in a very short stretch. You're allowed 5 miles an hour of speeding, so you can go up to 59.999999999 miles per hour. I think you can even go 60 even, but if you go 60.001, that's speeding. That is a speeding penalty. Well, SVG's group comes in. He's coming with the Hendrick Motorsports cars. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, they're leading the group. And all of a sudden, when the TV's seeing this, you see a little purple car. Purple car in the back of this group, just flying on by. And the onboard is terrifying because Chase Elliott sees this in his mirror, and he's like, oh, crap. And he just kind of turns out of the way to make sure he doesn't get rear-ended. If you're on SVG's onboard, you see Kyle Larson go flying by the other way. And I don't know if this telemetry is accurate, but the HBO Max onboard, they have the throttle input, they have the miles per hour, they got the gear. If that input is lined up with the actual camera, and once again, I don't know if it is, it could be completely wrong, SVG was going 111 miles per hour when the max you can go is 60. He was almost doubling the speed limit. That is how, sometimes speeding, you can't even tell if someone's speeding because you're going 0.001 over. And it's like, okay, that's a speeding penalty. You can't tell. But sometimes in instances like this one, when someone just goes flying onto pit road, you can tell. And once again, that telemetry could be wrong. He could have been going 75 or something. And it just took a minute or it took a couple seconds for the thing to recalibrate on the TV. So my information could be wrong, but if he was truly going 111 in a 60, that's almost a felony in the United States. Not on NASCAR, but on the streets. If the road down the street from me is 50, if I'm going 100, that's a felony. Anywho, we're not here to talk about the United States legal talk. But that killed their day. Unfortunately, he had to come back down pit road. Got down pit road the second time, much better. But they lost the draft at that point. They were all by themselves, and they're going 20 miles an hour slower than the field. He gets lapped. And when you get lapped at Talladega, you can usually get that lap back because a crash or an incident happens and you're the lucky dog, or you get the wave around because tires don't matter. But in yesterday's instance, we went caution free in stage 3. So SVG ends up finishing 1 or 2 laps down, ends up finishing on track 31st. There were 2 disqualifications, so he finishes 29th as we come over here. And the brutal start to the year just continues. We go to his stat profile here. Well, let's go to the points first. I'm on Xfinity results. I want to go standings here. Yeah, he's second to last out of the full-time drivers. He's got 1 top 10. It was at COTA. He's led 25 laps at least, so the majority of that was at COTA. 3 DNFs on the season. And when we go to his race-by-race results, yeah. I just realized I forgot to check when I started this thing. Anywho, it's not pretty. 33rd at Daytona. 23rd at Atlanta. Now, those were incidents that he did not cause. 6th at COTA. All right. Really good points day. 31st at Phoenix, 34th at Vegas, 32nd at Homestead, 34th at Martinsville, 20th at Darlington, okay, solid, 38th at Bristol, 29th at Talladega. Yeah, it's been a really bad start for SVG, whether it's someone else getting caught up in someone else's stuff, as he always says, whether it's shooting themselves in the foot like Talladega and Martinsville, or whether it's just they don't have speed, or it's SVG's first time to a track in a Cup car, and it's a really tough track to learn in a Cup car like Vegas and Homestead. Like, I guess Vegas, it was his second time there, or second time there in a Cup car, but Homestead, very difficult track to learn in a Cup car for the first time considering his background. Just nothing has gone right for them at the beginning of this year, whether it's all those different ways I said. So, yeah, that's it. There you go. SVG recap. First time we've done one of those since March. Texas next week. Texas will be a tough one. I'll admit, that's a really tough track to learn. It's a completely unique, it's its own monster. It's got 2 different sets of turns. Beat up banking. If you hit a bump at the wrong time, you will wreck. We saw it a lot last year. So next week could be rough, but Kansas and Charlotte should be better, hopefully. Anywho, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I got to get back to the live stream here. We got some Monday picks to make. Okay. Thank you guys for bearing with me and letting me do that. I know a lot of people care about SVG's results, so I do some reporting on how he does. I forgot to mark down when I started, but I'll guesstimate. I'll figure it out. I believe in myself. One of the few times I do. But SVG recap's over, so cool. Who's ready to make some Monday picks? Monday picks. Let's go to the entry list. We got triple header at Texas. Let's go to the Truck Series. Everyone, get yourself a good look at the entry list. We got Brandon Jones in the Truck Series field. We got Nick Sanchez and Carson Hocevar in the Truck Series field. Remember, Carson Hocevar made his first career win at Texas in the Truck Series. Bunch of normal names as on from here. Yeah, so those are the only notables. Brandon Jones, Carson Hocevar, and Nick Sanchez. Outside of that, it's our normal Truck Series field. So who wins the truck race on Friday night at Texas? Nash Truck Night in America. I will be there in some capacity. Still trying to figure out what capacity, but hey, I will be there. Who is going to win Nash Truck Race at Texas? There is no defending winner. Kyle Busch won this race last year, and he is not in the field. In between the lanes says Heim time. Jamie says Carson Hocevar. Marty says Malcolm and Malcolm. Who's Malcolm? Malcolm. You got me confused here, Marty. What am I missing here? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, Marty. Yeah, okay. Malcolm in the middle. Frankie Muniz. Okay. Yeah, all right. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, I'm dumb and I forgot that. Yes, Jamie, I'm stupid. I didn't think of it immediately. I'm dumb. I forgot that Frankie Muniz, Malcolm in the middle. My bad. I messed that up. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I messed that up. I apologize, but okay. Marty's going to go with Frankie. That's a bold pick. But he's going to go with Frankie. So we got a Frankie Muniz. We got a Carson Hocevar. We got a Corey Heim. Yeah. In between the lanes, I'm with you. I'm going to go with Corey Heim. Yeah. He almost won this race last year. Sure, why not? Let's go with him. Corey Heim to win the NASCAR truck race at Texas. It's NASCAR truck night in America. Oh, ooh. I'm going to do a weather. We're going to look at the weather after. Ooh, we got some storms out west, speaking of. Anywho, we're back to Monday picks. Xfinity Series. Once again, I'm just going to slowly go through. Okay, I got to get the comments back up. No, WFAA. Oh, my goodness. Our local thing, website, they have been doing a lot of pop-up ads recently, and it's kind of driving me crazy. I get they need their money, though. Anywho, back to the live stream. Xfinity. There are a couple notables. I believe Riley Herbst is in the field this week. Yes, Riley Herbst is in the Joe Gibbs Racing 19. Catherine Legg's in the field again. It's going to be a tough race. I think that's it. I think those are the only notables. All right. So, let's hear it. Monday picks for Xfinity. Taylor Gray is Marty's pick. All right. Taylor Gray, he got really close at Martinsville. I think I know who I'm going to pick. It might be a little bit of a surprise. When you hear who it is, like the car itself isn't a surprise, but it might be the driver might surprise some of you, but I think I have my pick. Taylor Gray for in between. Okay. We got a couple of Taylor Gray picks here. Connor Zilic is Jamie's pick. So close at Talladega. Redemption at Texas is Jamie's pick. Oh my goodness. The Cavaliers won by how much? Good God. 55 points in Miami. Holy crap. That is abuse. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make my Monday pick. I was foreshadowing earlier. I have my mouse right here. Riley Herbst is so darn good at these mile and a halves in the Xfinity Series for some reason. So I'm going to go with Riley Herbst. Yeah, Herbst. Why not? He's had a rough start in Cup. Going back to Xfinity, sure. Riley Herbst is going to win at Texas. Now it's time for Cup. NASCAR Cup Series. We got a couple notables in the field. We got a couple open entries. We got Jesse Love in the 62. Remember, made his Cup Series debut at Bristol a few weeks ago. And we've got Chad Fincham in the 66. So, let's hear your Monday picks for the NASCAR Cup Series in Texas. Now, you got to remember, 1 year ago for this race, I'm an idiot. And tell me if you've heard that before. And I came on here on Monday, and I was like, okay, I think I know who I'm going to pick for my Monday pick. And I think I picked Denny Hamlin or Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, one of the heavy hitters. Someone picked Chase Elliott in the comments, and I laughed, and I was like, Chase Elliott has terrible Texas numbers. He'll never win at Texas. He just has really bad luck. Ever since the repave, he has had really bad numbers at Texas. He will not win this race. Do you guys know what happened on that fateful Sunday at Texas Motor Speedway? Yes, Chase Elliott won that race. So, yeah. In conclusion, I am dumb. So, yeah, I will not be making that mistake again. I won't be making. I'm not picking Chase Elliott. I'll say that right now, but I'm not going to say that he won't win. I'm not making that mistake again. First big thing, Kyle Larson's not running the Hendrick car scheme. Last time I went to a race and Kyle Larson was not running the Hendrick car scheme was when he ran the Cincinnati scheme at Talladega in 2021. It's just going to be really weird. Jamie is picking Ryan Blaney. That is a really good pick. For some reason at the repave, Ryan Blaney and Texas have been a great combination. He won the All-Star race in 2022. That first Texas race with the Wood brothers in 2017, he led like 170-something laps. He swept the stages. In fact, I think it was O'Reilly back then, the 2017 O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. Okay, it's the second result. That's a good start. Jimmy Johnson won. That is correct. Yes, I remember Jimmy Johnson won for the billionth time at Texas when I'm sitting there in the stands. Yes, Ryan Blaney led 148 laps. He swept the stages, and he finished 12th. I don't know why he finished 12th, but he finished 12th. Harvick led 77 laps that day. Truex led 49. Jimmy Johnson only led 18 laps that day and won. Cool. That was the first race on the repave. Oh, no way. Derek Cope was in that race. Oh, that's hilarious. Briscoe out of nowhere is in between the lanes. That would be extremely random. And also, could you imagine Martin Truex Jr. won at every mile and a half except for Atlanta and Texas. And the first time he's not in the car at Texas, his car wins. Could you imagine? That would be quite something. Christopher Bell is Marty's pick. He wants revenge. I'm assuming you're talking about Talladega when he got wrecked by Denny Hamlin. Yeah, Kyle Busch is in a 7-Eleven scheme. We got a 7-Eleven like half a mile from here, so I might go get a Slurpee in his honor if he ends up winning. Or better yet, I'll go get a Slurpee right before the live stream next Monday. That's what we'll do. Mark that down. If Kyle Busch wins in the 7-Eleven scheme next Monday, we'll be here with a Slurpee. So we got a Christopher Bell. We got a Ryan Blaney. We got Chase Briscoe. Extremely random Monday pick there. I'm not going to lie. I'd like to think that there's going to be a random winner. Just because Texas has been really unpredictable in the next-gen car. We had the tire fiasco in 2022. 2023, we had Kyle Larson wrecking himself out of the race. Bubba Wallace dominating that race. I think he led 100-and-something laps that day. And then William Byron, randomly out of nowhere, steals the win from Chase Briscoe. There you go. There's some logic for you in between the lanes. Steals the win from Chase Briscoe and Bubba Wallace. Last year, Reddick and Hamlin were the best two cars, if I remember correctly. But Elliott was just like elite on restarts. I'm gonna go with Tyler Reddick. Reddick was so good last year at this race. Threw it away at times. They had a bad pit stop. He hit the wall at one point. I think they get some redemption. I think Tyler Reddick wins at my home track. Michael Jordan, if he's there, he's going to celebrate. That'll be cool. So, by the way, Michael Jordan, in the 0% chance that you're watching this, if you win on Sunday night with one of your drivers and you want to party, my house is available. So, come on over, Michael Jordan. We can have a great party in honor of your drivers if you win. So, anywho. Yeah. All right. So, that's all I got. Oh, right. Yes. Weather. Someone brought up the weather. I got my local news station. It's a home race for me, so I know where to go for the weather here. Uh-oh. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Thunderstorm chances on Sunday. That's 20%. That's low. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Guys, I said this in the preseason. Last year, we had a really wet May here. And I said in the preseason, Texas would be pushed to Monday. Well, right now we got a chance. We got a chance. Hell, we got a chance of a Thursday race. Now, once again, these numbers are low and it's still 6 days out. And whether we don't really know about it, we don't know some of the more specifics as to when and where and timing until like within 72 hours. So it's going to be like the truck race when we're going to learn about the cup race weather. But yeah, it's what are the odds, man? Thank you guys, everyone, for showing up to this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. The Monday after Talladega. So yeah, once again, we'll see you in the next one. I'll be at Texas this weekend. I got to clip this SVG video and post it. But thanks again for watching. Hope you